To those watching from a distance, such a person often appears reckless. Friends may question their decisions. Family members may urge them to stay where life is predictable. Society frequently rewards stability more than discovery. Yet beneath every meaningful achievement lies a moment when someone accepted the possibility of looking foolish. Think about the first day a child learns to walk. Before that first uncertain step, crawling is safe. Crawling is familiar. It allows movement without risking painful falls. Then something remarkable happens. The child pulls themselves upward, their legs trembling under the weight of a body that has never before balanced in this way. They take one step, then collapse. They stand again, only to fall once more. The pattern repeats over and over until, almost without anyone noticing, walking becomes natural. Imagine if adults learned this way. Imagine if every stumble were treated not as evidence of failure, but as proof of growth. Imagine entering a new career, learning a language, starting a business, or expressing your true feelings without believing that every mistake defines your worth. Yet, somewhere between childhood and adulthood, many people stop seeing mistakes as teachers. They begin seeing them as verdicts on their identity. This quiet shift changes everything. Instead of asking, "What can I learn?" they begin asking, "How will others judge me?" Psychologists have long observed that fear of social evaluation shapes countless human decisions. Many people avoid opportunities not because they lack ability, but because they fear embarrassment. A meeting remains silent because someone is afraid their question will sound foolish. Appear intelligent, gradually stop asking honest questions. They become prisoners of their own image. They nod even when they do not understand. They defend opinions they secretly doubt. They avoid unfamiliar situations because being a beginner threatens the identity they have carefully constructed. Yet every expert was once a beginner. Every master once struggled with simple tasks. Every accomplished person has memories of confusion, frustration, and failure. The difference is not talent alone. The difference is endurance. Those who continue despite looking inexperienced eventually become the people others admire. There is a quiet strength in admitting ignorance. It creates space for learning. A cup already convinced it is full cannot receive fresh water. A mind convinced it already possesses every answer slowly loses the ability to discover new questions. Growth depends less on intelligence than on openness. The fool remains teachable because they never mistake temporary knowledge for permanent truth. Consider how often life itself forces us back into this position. A successful executive loses their job and must begin again. A parent discovers that raising a teenager requires entirely different wisdom than raising a child. An athlete suffers an injury and must relearn movements that once felt effortless. A person who believed they understood love experiences heartbreak and realizes how much remained hidden within their own heart. Again and again, life strips away certainty, not to punish us, but to prepare us for deeper understanding. These moments feel painful because they dismantle identities we believed were permanent. Yet beneath every broken blindness that does not come from the absence of sight, but from the certainty that there is nothing left to see. It is one of the quietest dangers a person can encounter because it rarely announces itself. It does not arrive with noise or chaos. Instead, it settles gently into the mind, convincing us that our understanding is complete, our opinions are final, and our perspective is sufficient. From that moment forward, growth begins to slow, not because life has stopped teaching, but because we have stopped listening. The greatest obstacle to wisdom is not ignorance. Ignorance can ask questions. Ignorance can remain curious. Ignorance can still be transformed. The greater obstacle is the illusion that there is nothing left to learn. A person who believes they already possess every answer unknowingly closes the very door through which new understanding enters. Imagine standing beside a river that has flowed for thousands of years. Every day the water changes. No two moments are exactly alike. The current carries new reflections, fresh leaves, hidden stones, and shifting patterns beneath the surface. Yet if someone stood before that river and declared, "I have seen it once, therefore I know it completely," we would recognize the absurdity immediately. The river continues to change, whether or not the observer notices. Human life is much the same. People change. Relationships change. Circumstances change. Even our own hearts change in ways we often fail to recognize. Yet, many continue living as though yesterday's understanding is enough to explain today's reality. This quiet certainty becomes truth rather than to your own image. Consider how often arguments arise, not because people refuse to speak, but because they refuse to listen. Two individuals can stand only a few feet apart while inhabiting entirely different worlds. Each waits impatiently for the other to stop talking so they can defend their own position. Words become weapons instead of bridges. Understanding disappears, replaced by the desire to win. But winning an argument is not always the same as discovering the truth. Sometimes, the most courageous sentence a person can speak is remarkably simple. I had not considered that. Those 5 words possess extraordinary power. They create space for dialogue. They dissolve unnecessary conflict. Most importantly, they allow transformation to begin. Growth often starts the moment certainty loosens its grip. This truth reaches deeply into our personal relationships as well. How often do we believe we fully understand the people closest to us? A husband assumes he already knows his wife because they have shared years together. A parent believes they understand their child because they remember them as they once were. Friends begin finishing one another's sentences, convinced there is nothing new left to discover. Yet every human being is constantly changing. Experiences reshape beliefs. Pain alters priorities. Joy opens hidden possibilities. Dreams evolve. Fears emerge. No person remains exactly who they were yesterday. The tragedy is not that people change. The tragedy is that we often stop noticing. Real love requires curiosity. It asks us to meet opportunity to expand the boundaries of understanding. Perhaps that is the deepest lesson of all. The most dangerous fool is not the one who knows little. It is the one who mistakes a small piece of truth for the whole of reality. The world is infinitely more complex than our opinions, richer than our assumptions, and larger than our imagination. Every day invites us to exchange certainty for curiosity, pride for humility, and fixed conclusions for living questions. Those who accept that invitation discover that wisdom is not measured by the number of answers they possess, but by their willingness to keep learning long after others have decided there is nothing left to learn. Number 3. The fool becomes free when they stop performing. There comes a moment in almost every human life when the weight of pretending becomes heavier than the fear of being seen. It is not always a dramatic moment. More often, it arrives quietly, disguised as exhaustion. You wake up one morning and realize that you have spent years trying to become the person everyone else expected, while the person you truly are has been waiting patiently in silence. The smile you wear no longer reaches your heart. The words you speak sound rehearsed. The achievements that once promised fulfillment now feel strangely empty. Outwardly, everything appears successful, yet inwardly, something essential has begun to fade. Many people mistake this feeling for failure, but it is often the beginning of awakening. From childhood, we learn that acceptance is connected to performance. We discover that certain behaviors earn praise, while others invite criticism. We learn to smile even platforms with increased anxiety, lower self-esteem, and feelings of isolation. The comparison itself is often unfair because we are measuring our private reality against another person's public performance. We see their victories but not their doubts, their celebrations but not their sleepless nights, their destination but not the difficult road that brought them there. The mind begins whispering dangerous questions. Why am I not enough? Why does everyone else seem happier? Why does life appear easier for them? These questions are painful because they are built upon an illusion. We are comparing our unedited humanity with someone else's selected moments. The performance convinces us that everyone else has found certainty while we alone remain uncertain. Yet uncertainty belongs to every human heart. Behind polished appearances live fears that rarely find words. The executive worries about losing everything they built. The artist wonders whether their best work is already behind them. The parent questions whether they are raising their children well. The student fears that one mistake will define their future. The elderly person wonders whether their life truly mattered. Different faces, different stories, the same quiet longing to be accepted without pretending. Freedom begins when we recognize that our worth cannot depend upon constant performance. If our value depends entirely on success, then every failure becomes a threat to our identity. If our identity depends upon appearing strong, then every moment of weakness becomes unbearable. If we must always appear perfect, then perfection itself becomes a prison with walls that grow taller each passing year. There is another way to live. Imagine a great oak tree standing alone in an open field. Through countless seasons, it has endured storms, droughts, fierce winds, and heavy snow. Its branches are not perfectly straight. Some have broken. Others have twisted toward the sunlight after years of difficult weather. The bark bears scars from lightning and time. Yet those very imperfections reveal its strength. Every mark tells the story of survival. Every scar proves that life has touched it deeply. No one asks the tree to hide its scars. No one expects every branch to be flawless. Its beauty lies precisely in its honesty. Human beings often demand from themselves a perfection that they would never demand from nature. We criticize our own scars while admiring resilience in everything around us. Perhaps we have misunderstood strength all along. Strength is not pretending that pain never existed. Strength is allowing pain to deepen compassion rather than harden the heart. Consider the conversations that leave the deepest impression on us. Rarely are they filled with flawless speeches or polished performances. Instead, they are moments when someone speaks honestly about fear, loss, hope, or failure. We remember the friend who admitted they were struggling. We remember the teacher who shared the mistakes that shaped their wisdom. We remember the parent who apologized instead of pretending to be infallible. Authenticity creates connection because it reminds us that we are not alone. The moment one person lowers their mask, another quietly feels permission to lower theirs. Courage spreads this way, not through perfection, entire lives avoiding. The world may admire perfection from a distance, but it trusts honesty. People may applaud flawless performances for a moment, yet they remember genuine humanity for a lifetime. In choosing truth over appearance, sincerity over image, and authenticity over applause, the fool does not lose freedom. They finally discover it. For the person who no longer needs to perform for acceptance can walk through life with an open heart, carrying nothing to prove and nothing to hide, becoming fully present to themselves, to others, and to the quiet truth that has been waiting within them all along. Every one of us carries two voices. One whispers, "Protect your image." The other whispers, "Discover who you really are." One seeks applause. The other seeks truth. One avoids mistakes. The other understands that every mistake contains the seed of transformation. Life does not ask us to become flawless. It asks us to become honest, to step into the unknown, to ask the question everyone else is afraid to ask, to admit when we are wrong, to begin again. Perhaps becoming wiser does not mean leaving the fool behind. Perhaps wisdom is simply the fool who never stopped learning. So the next time life invites you into unfamiliar territory, when your voice trembles, when uncertainty fills your mind, when everyone else seems convinced, do not ask, "How can I avoid looking foolish?" Ask instead, "What truth might only a fool have the courage to discover?" Because the greatest tragedy is not being seen as a fool. The greatest tragedy is spending an entire lifetime pretending to be someone who never needed to learn. And perhaps in the end, the fool was never lost. The fool was simply the first person brave enough to begin.